Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can use RightBooth's event workflow techniques to chain multiple events together or go from one event to another to achieve various things you can't do inside a single event file. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I was asked a question by one of the users, and I'll show you the question. So the question was, is it possible to have a print layout with 3 photos and a separate print layout with 1 photo, but the bonus is if the single photo can have AI? Now, to achieve that, it's not possible to do all that in a single event file, so you have to have 2 event files. So let's have a look at the 2 event files first, and then I'll show you how you can combine them together with workflow. So we're actually looking at the first event. Let me come out of here. So this is the 3 photo event. Let's go into the designer. You can see I've set it up for 3 photos. And in event structure, if I look at photo AI, there is no photo AI in this. It's just 3 photos, one after another. If I look at show and redo, we can see that we are showing the photos and we're allowing the user to retake the photos if they're not happy. There's also printing as well, so I've got ask the user. So let's have a look at this workflow in this event. So in the editor we can see we've got a start screen, a get ready screen, take photo, show photo, and here we're showing the 3 photos one after another as they're being taken. We can also redo any of the photos or keep them. We then move on to the photo options screen, and here you can see that you can print the 3 photos on a standard layout. So we've got the 3 photos on a single portrait printout, and then we have the thank you screen. Now when you play this event, it will start here, it will go through the process, it take the 3 photos, and then on the thank you screen it will return you back to the start screen. So that's fairly standard stuff. Now I've saved this event as 3photos.rbe. Now going back to the question, that addresses this first option here, a print layout with 3 photos. We now need a separate print layout with 1 photo. So what I've done is designed another event file. Let me open it. I've called it face swap because I'm going to use face swap techniques in this 1 photo capture event. So let's open that and take a look at it. Now in this example we have only 1 photo that's been taken. Let's have a look at event structure. If I go to the photo AI section, you can see that I've set up face swapping ask the user. So let's have a look at what this does to the flow. Same again, we have start, get ready. This time we take a single photo. It then moves on to the face swap AI screen, and here you can see that I've got the user to choose from one of 6 different characters. It then moves on to showing the photo. This will be the actual AI modified photo. Then on the photo options screen, it is literally just printing a single image, and that is the photo AI image, so the face swapped photo. We then have the thank you screen, and it then returns back to the start screen in this event. Okay, so we have 2 event files. We have the 3 photos event file and the face swap event file. But what we want to do is to allow the user to choose one of those types of events before they actually partake in the event flow. Now, the way to do that is that you need to create a 3rd event file, and we'll call this photo menu. So let me do that. I'm going to create. So I'm going to create an information event, and that's here. Let's just briefly go through this. Let's call this the photo menu. And I'm just going to whip through all these. So it's building this information event. And I'm going to save this as photo menu. Okay, press the escape key. Let's have a look at what it's created for us. Go into the editor, and it is a single screen with just this title. Now, what I want to do is I want to design this screen to allow the user to choose to run one of the other two events. So let's have a look at that. The first thing I'm going to do is put some assets on here. So let's go for add items, images, more images. Now I've actually got a collection of images here. So I'm going to pick all these. I'm just going to control click. Let's get all the images that I want. That's probably it. Let's open those. And I'm just going to size and position these on the screen. So what I'm doing here really is designing this screen so that there are two clear options to choose from. So here we've got the 3 photo option over this side, and over here I'm going to have the face swap option. So let's just bring this one to the front. Probably a couple of arrows here. Let's get this guy, just to show that this is what will happen. Let's copy that one, copy and paste. Let's put it down here. Let's have a look at the properties. I'm going to flip it in Y, like that. Maybe make those two a little bit smaller. Okay, obviously you can design this however you want. Now what I'm going to do is put some buttons on with some options. So let's add 2 buttons. And some labels. So here I'll call this face swap. And let's just copy that, paste it, and just edit this to say 3 photos. Right, so this is our menu event. So what I want to do really is on these 2 buttons, I want to be able to link to the 2 events that I'm going to play. So this one wants to link to the face swap event. So I need to put an action on this button. Go to the properties. Down here, I'm going to have a click action. And the click action will be to play an event. Click here and then choose face swap. So what happens here is when the user touches that button, RightBooth will go from this event and will play the face swap event. Now over here, I want the same action, play event. But this time, I want to choose 3 photos. Now, I've actually added that action on the label. So what I want to do is add it to the button as well. Three photos. Over here, let's make it neat. I'll put the play event also on this label. Play event, and this is face swap. So we've got the actions for the buttons and the labels. Okay, you could put the actions on all the other items if you want. So click this, play event, click this, play event, and so on. But right now I'm quite happy with just these options down here being active. Right. Let's save this event. So I'm just going to test it first. Let's play this event. Now, if I click here, it takes me to the face swap event. I'm just going to press the escape key. Let's play it again. If I click here, it takes me to the 3 photo event. So I've got the link working from the menu now. The question is, how do you get back to the menu after you've played one of the other 2 events? So the way to do that is to use some more event flow techniques. So what I'll do is I'll open up the face swap event first, go into the designer and look at event flow. Now in here you can choose what happens after the event is finished. So on this event, what I want to do is, on completion, I don't want to go back to this event, which is to the start screen of this event. I want to go to the previous event. So I can simply click that. Now what that will do is, when the face swap event is completed on the thank you screen, when the thank you screen times out, it will take you back to the menu event. Now you could be more specific if you wanted and actually say exactly which event you want to go to. But in my example, it's going back to the event that called this event, if that makes sense. You can also have going back, if there's an error, back to the menu, or on a timeout. If there's a timeout in the face swap event, you can get it to go back to the menu. Now, we need to do the same thing on the 3 photos event. So let's just save that. I'm going to open the 3 photos event, go into the designer, go to event flow and tick all these. And save the event. Right, the way to start the whole event flow now is to open the menu event, the photo menu, and start playing. So what happens now is that the user approaches this menu. They can choose to do a face swap for a single photo, or they can choose to take 3 photos. And then when either of those event files are finished, event flow will take the system back to the photo menu. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Literally, you can connect events together with event flow and the play event click action. You could obviously extend this to have more events on the menu if you want. So you could design your menu to have maybe 10 different event styles or different event flows, and you would have an individual event file for each one of those flows, and you can click from the menu, play the event, and then return back to the menu at the end of the selected event. Okay, thanks for watching.